Hi, I'm Trevor from Spicular Fixins, and I am making an old-fashioned for you today. Now, to construct this old-fashioned, by no means am I saying I am the authority on the old-fashioned. This is my interpretation. The thing with cocktails that you have to remember is that so many stories have been told about the way that they're made, and usually when they're being made, people are having a few drinks. And so the histories get a little bit muddled, and so do the way people make them. You know, they change and evolve over time. This is my interpretation of the old-fashioned. I take 2 sugar cubes, I use the dark ones, I add those in, saturate them with the bitters. I've used a cocktail of bitters. I've used 3 different styles of bitters, and that gives it a little extra, boost and depth. And that's what you really want to do. You want to give the person who's drinking your cocktails, something to think about and say, wow, there's some spiciness to this cocktail that I don't recognize. And you can say, well, I've got the trifecta of bitters in there. And that pretty much, is your secret weapon that sets you aside or apart from everybody else making drinks out there. Once the bitters have interacted with the sugar cube, you want to muddle them. And because they're in season, blood orange slices. Now, it's most practical to use a bar spoon with a flat base. You can use a muddler if you like, but because you're going to be stirring this cocktail a little bit later, it just makes more sense to use a bar spoon with the flat head. Once you've muddled those in, you're going to add in your whiskey. The old-fashioned is very pleasing to the palate. It's quite strong, so if you're not used to drinking spirit-forward cocktails, you want to slowly introduce yourself to this one. The way I've made it quite approachable for the average person is by adding a little bit of soda water. Not everybody does that. Some people add a little bit of water. Some people don't even add water at all, which is quite fine. And what I like to do with the zest is give it a little flame on top. Anytime I make a cocktail, I like to add some sort of theater or an element where people they do one of those. I'm like, what the heck's going on in this bar? And this guy's lighting things on fire. If you're making a really great cocktail, you want to use the finest ingredients you can find. And this here is a sour cherry that I've added. For me, this is a beauty. The ingredients that I've added are well measured out and the proportions are pretty spot on in terms of pleasing to my palate, and I hope they're pleasing to yours as well.